What is up, guys, and welcome back to the video. So in today's video, what we'll be doing is going over the best creative maps that you can use to improve in Fortnite Chapter 3. This video is going to be the all-in-one guide covering every creative map that you're going to need when it comes to improving at Fortnite in Chapter 3. There will be 5 different sections in this video, including aiming, editing, piece control, movement, and fighting. And each section is going to include 1 or 2 maps that'll help you improve that skill dramatically. I will be going through quite a few maps in this video, so they will be relatively quick. Don't worry though, as I won't be pulling an It's Jarian on you guys and spend 24 minutes on 4 maps. Just playing around, of course. I do love Jarian's content. But with that said, for the map codes, I'll be putting them all at the end of the video to save time, and also I'll be putting them in the description, that way you can grab them whenever you need them as well. So once again, map codes at the end of the video and in the description. Last thing before we get into this video though, be sure to drop a like if it helps you out, and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. As well as that, guys, it would really mean a lot if you could use code Teckoh in the item shop. It's 100% free for you, and I really do appreciate it a ton. But with that said, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So hopping into our first section, which is going to be aiming, and the first map we've got is an incredible aim map that you can use completely on your own, which is Raiders Solo Aim Map. Raiders Solo Aim Map just came out about 2 weeks ago at the time I'm recording this video, and it has quickly become one of the most popular maps when it comes to getting insane aim. The reason this map is so popular is because it has so many different useful scenarios, all of which you can do as a solo without anyone else in your party, and it's super effective. You've got all sorts of shotgun scenarios, AR scenarios, SMG scenarios, and overall this map just has so much stuff, far too much to cover in this video. So this is absolutely one of the best maps when it comes to aim training. Onto our second map though, and we've got a map that I have shown before, which is the Next 60s aim map. Similar to Raiders maps, the Next 60s aim map has some insanely useful scenarios for improving your aim. It has SMG scenarios where you track a target around, such as a chicken, AR scenarios where you do something similar from much further away, and it even has shotgun scenarios like 180-degree flicks, reactions, and even a scenario where you can basically practice editing into shots like you would in a box fight, which obviously helps your aim a lot in those situations. So overall, the Next 60s aim map is another amazing solo map for aim training, and this map mixed with Raiders map should make for a really good aim training routine. Moving on to our editing map though, and for this section we're only going to have one map, which is Teadoh's realistic edit and piece control map. Now technically you could consider this map both an editing and a piece control map, but personally I recommend it as an editing map, as I also have a really good piece control map in this video. Overall though, the map has easy and advanced editing and piece control scenarios, both of which are obviously fantastic. If you're looking for editing in particular, which I'm assuming you will be, the scenarios typically do include shooting, but they're mostly focused on helping you improve by using realistic edits, as you can see on screen right now. Each scenario includes a unique edit pattern that you can utilize in real fights, and it really helps you to learn the editing skills that you're actually going to be using in game, and not just learn something that looks fancy and creative. A lot of maps have a reputation for basically allowing you to practice your editing, but really not showing you anything that's actually useful in game. Basically, you're just wasting your time learning something that looks super fancy but doesn't actually do anything. But this map isn't like that, and the edits that Teadoh put in this map are meant to help you mechanically, but also help you in realistic situations, and that's what makes this map so appealing to me. But overall, Teadoh's map is definitely one of the best when it comes to editing. Onto our piece control section though, and this section is also only going to include one map, which is Raiders piece control map V3. If you've ever seen this map before, you probably know by now that it's the ultimate piece control practice map, and honestly, it's about all you're going to need aside from practicing piece control in fights in order to become an absolute piece control legend. The map has about 25 different piece control scenarios, a few of which you can see on screen, as well as multiple piece control tunnels that you can use for practice as well. The map basically has all sorts of piece control training scenarios ranging from absolutely beginner to advanced level in difficulty, and it should really help you improve your piece control in all sorts of situations. Especially in Chapter 3, it's really important to get good with the sliding mechanic as well, and the map does include sliding in case you want to practice some piece control plays that utilize it. But overall, Raiders map is a classic when it comes to improving your piece control, and it is absolutely my top recommendation for doing so. Onto our movement maps though, and these are going to be 2 really interesting maps, the first of which is going to be Coach Jazz's movement map. Now, Coach Jazz is a YouTuber and Fortnite coach that gained a lot of traction due to an older movement course, which was basically a timed course that allowed you to practice your movement. But lately he has branched out a bit, and he recently made this insane movement map. Instead of being a course that you just go head in on, the map has 7 different areas, all of which practice a different style of moving and peeking to allow you to become an absolute beast when it comes to movement during fights. These include right hand peeks, peeking over ramps, shooting from weird angles, low ground, left hand shots, side jump shots, and other various scenarios. So overall, this map is all encompassing when it comes to movement, and I absolutely recommend you guys give it a shot regardless of your skill level, as these are some of the fundamental skills that you're really going to need to be good at to be a successful player in Fortnite. Onto our next movement map though, and we've got another really interesting map, which is by Slide Jack. The goal of this map is basically to help you practice peeking effectively in a very hardcore drill style environment. The map has you pushing a bot, but anytime you enter the bot's line of sight in any significant fashion, you instantly take damage and you have to restart the scenario. So the goal of this map is basically to force you to get a quote-unquote perfect angle on the bot and hit it without taking damage back. This works all sorts of areas like your aim, building and editing, but most of all, it really helps a ton when it comes to movement and angles, as it basically tells you every time you don't have a super solid angle. Now, obviously, a lot of us are going to struggle with this, as we do almost always expose ourselves to take shots, but that's okay, as it's perfectly normal and practice makes perfect. So overall, this map is fantastic for movement, and it's another one of my top recommendations when it comes to improving at Fortnite overall. Moving on to our final section, which is fighting. I believe this is our 7th map in this video, and this is going to be Panville's realistic FFA map. This map is a pretty simple one and has been well known for a while now, but it's easily one of the simplest and easiest way to practice fighting against a ton of different players in a short time frame. The basic premise is that you spawn into the map with 15 players and you're all fighting it out to the death. Every time you die, you instantly respawn back in to fight again, and the premise is that you get a ton of different fights. You will run into a lot of third parties in this map, but it is still pretty fun, and obviously third partying is just a part of Fortnite. You can also run this with friends if you prefer it, but I mainly recommend you hop into matchmaking. That way you get a full lobby of players and get tons of fights in. Panville's map also has a point system, which essentially takes a few points from you whenever you die, but it also gives you points whenever you get an assist or a kill. So there is technically a winner every round, so if you want to compete, then that's a great way to do it. So overall, Panville's map fits super well in a warm-up routine or as part of a practice routine, pretty much regardless of what exactly your goals are. Getting into our second fighting map though, and the last map in today's video, and we've got Finest Realistic 1v1 for Chapter 3. This map is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a realistic 1v1 map, which most of us are probably familiar with by now, and it includes the Chapter 3 loot pool as well as updated locations. Since it's literally just a one-on-one fight, it's a super dialed in way to practice, and overall it's one of the simplest things that you can do to improve your overall skill in Fortnite. I recommend you hop into the map and go into the matchmaking portal, and if possible, choose the striker pump or auto shotgun. That way you're using up-to-date weapons. Some opponents might try and choose the pump or something else, but if that is selected, then you can choose whether to find another 1v1 or just play it out with that weapon. If you don't know, basically at the start of the match you're able to choose the weapon, and it's kind of like a voting system. But with that said, this map is absolutely one of the best ways to improve almost all areas of your gameplay in Fortnite, and whether you play it with a friend or play against random players, you should see some fantastic results if you play consistently. But with all that out of the way, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's creative maps. Overall, those are 8 different maps that we just covered, and they should help you dramatically improve all aspects of your gameplay. As I promised at the beginning of the video, I am gonna toss up the codes to all the maps on screen. It is quite a bit of code, so you may need to pause to write them down, but you can also check the description of the video and refer to it at any time for the codes as well if you need to quickly access them. If this video helped you out though, then be sure to drop a like on it and consider subscribing as well if you want to see more content just like this in the future. And alongside that, if you want to help your boy out a bit extra, then consider using code Teckoh in the Fortnite item shop. It would really mean a lot to me. It's 100% free and it really helps me out a ton. With that said though, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.